This is News Plus on Viewer Television. I am Deborah Ndukaife. Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived in Rome to represent President Bola Tinubu at the United Nations Food System Summit. The summit will be held from Monday, July 24th to Wednesday, July 26th. Shettima is in Rome on an official assignment for the first time since he became Nigeria's #2 citizen. The vice president was received at Leonardo da Vinci Airport by some Nigerian diplomats, according to the Director of Information, Office of the Vice President Olushola Abiola. Those who received the vice president at the airport include Nigeria's ambassador to Italy, Mafwa Omini Abam, the head of the consular department of the Nigerian embassy in Italy, Ugochukwu Onuzulike, and the president of the Nigerian community in Rome, Chima Ibezim. Shettima is expected to join other global leaders for the first stock-taking moment summit titled Transforming Food System for People, Planet and Prosperity. And now, the immediate past Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Talin, has urged President Bola Tinubu to fulfill his promise to implement the 35% affirmative action for women in appointments. Talin, who made the call in an interview with the newsmen in Abuja, said women played critical roles during Tinubu's electioneering campaign and his eventual victory. According to her rather, she strongly believes that the president will appoint and empower more women than his predecessors because he has always believed in women's crucial role in governance and politics. Talent said women always enliven political campaigns because they carry their roles as mothers into campaigns, adding that their direct one-on-one campaign strategy is always a game changer in determining election outcomes. The Nigerian Air Force NAF has dismissed a NAF recruitment advert being circulated on social media platforms as fake and an attempt to defraud applicants. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, NAF Air Commodore Edward Gabwet in Abuja said NAF is not recruiting and warned applicants not to fall prey to fraudsters. Gabwet said the advertisement did not emanate from the NAF and reminded Nigerians that the service recently graduated recruits of Basic Military Training Course 43 2022 on July 8. According to him, members of the public would be adequately informed whenever NAF is recruiting. He further reminded the public that recruitment and selection process into the NAF is free and without any form of gratification. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, and national commissioners of the commission are currently meeting with accredited local election observers group and civil society organizations at its headquarters in Abuja. This is the first public meeting that the electoral umpire is having with members of the CSOs and local election observers group since the conclusion of the 2023 general elections. The meeting aims to review the 2023 general elections with the CSOs and Observers Group, as well as discuss preparations for the upcoming off-season governorship elections in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states. INEC has, in the last 2 weeks, been engaging with critical stakeholders who participated in one way or the other in the conduct of the 2023 general elections. Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak of Kwara State has approved 10,000 naira monthly palliative for civil servants in the state. The decision was announced at a press conference and addressed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor Rafiu Ajakaye at the Government House Ilorin on Monday, July 24th. The fund is to help workers cope with the economic constraints of the recent fuel subsidy removal. At the press conference, Ajakaye disclosed that the palliative is a cash support of 10,000 naira for every public sector worker in the state, which will begin this month, July, and last until a new minimum wage is introduced to enable workers to cope with the economic shocks created by subsidy removal. Now let's take a quick break, and when we come back, News Plus continues. Stay with us.
Tribunal has dismissed an application filed by the Independent National Electoral
Viewer Television, now airing in FCT Abuja. Adamawa.
From Bauchi, following the order of
youths in Bauchi under the
Bauchi. Boronu. Gombe. Plateau. Taraba. Viewer TV. News from a vantage point.
Before you came round, my heart would never beat.
The story of a charmer and his crush.
Before you came round, I was ready to slow down. Before you came round, I was heading for a small disaster. Before you came round, I was ready to blow me down.
Tat Fragrance, the new luxury fragrance for men and women.
A total of 529 foreign-trained medical and dental graduates failed the assessment examination conducted by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. This is according to the examination report obtained from the MDCN on Sunday. The two-day assessment examination was conducted at the University College Hospital, Ibadan in Oyo State. The MDCN said 704 medical and 30 dental foreign-trained graduates participated in the assessment examination. The council, however, said only 189 medical graduates and 16 dental graduates passed the examination. It also revealed that 515 medical graduates and 14 dental graduates failed the examination. The MDCN regulates the practice of medicine, dentistry, and alternative medicine in the country to safeguard the nation's healthcare system. Governorship Election Petition Tribunal on Sunday reserved judgment on whether or not the suspended resident Electoral Commissioner REC of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Hudu Yunusa Ari, can give evidence before it. Counsel for Governor Amadou Fintiri, Damian Dodo, had argued that Yunusa Ari was sneaked into the courtroom to give evidence contrary to the procedure. This was corroborated by Mohamed Garba, counsel for the first respondent, INEC, who also objected to Yunusa Ari giving oral evidence at the sitting on the grounds that he was listed out of time. Yunusa Ari, who was guarded by armed security operatives, arrived at the tribunal at about noon to give evidence in favor of the All Progressive Congress candidate, Aishatu Dahiru Ahmed Binani. On his part, counsel for Binani, Akin Olujumi Sans, insisted that his witness was entitled to testify before the tribunal. After the counter-arguments, the chairman of the three-man panel announced that the ruling on the matter had been reserved.
We had some arguments on whether our next witness could testify. That witness is the former state resident electoral commissioner who was to testify on what happened during that election. But of course, the respondents, they just met him in court, and this fear came on them, and the thing they could do was to oppose. It's a right to testify. So we now had to address the court.
The petitioners tried to call a witness. It's a witness that is well known, Malam Hudu Ari, a former resident electoral commissioner for Adamawa State. But we took a technical objection, and for the past 6 hours, we have articulated our arguments as to why he cannot be allowed to testify.
Not bringing that document again, therefore that witness cannot testify. That is just we don't have anything against the witness, but the only thing is that the law and procedure should be followed when a witness is to be called. So we are saying they did not follow the correct procedure, therefore that witness cannot testify because his statement, which is his evidence, was not put forward to the court as at when it was supposed to.
The Vice President of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, said the new government's renewed hope agenda will fund health and engage in local manufacture of health products, including equipment, adding that the resident doctors across the country will be paid as well. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, stated this during the commissioning of key projects and foundation laying of health centers at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital in Borno State. The Vice President, represented by the Special Advisor to the President on Health, Dr. Salma Ibrahim, commissioned a Child Institute, 150-bed capacity female hostel, radiology extension and foundation laying at ICT and heart centers. She said the federal government will expand investment on medical education, reverse brain drain, and medical tourism, revealing that it has approved the payment of allowance for resident doctors.
We also want to focus on local manufacturing of health products, medicines, equipments, and supplies. We will proactively expand insurance coverage. The government commits to reach at least minimum of 50 million Nigerians by 2027. Thirdly, also another burning issue within our institution is the payment of the resident doctors. This has been approved. I'm very happy that Mr. Ben Okaboze is here, the DG budget, and he can talk to it better than me. But I know that it's on his table.
We should look into the possibility of sustaining what has been done before. Because other than that, this teaching of the land. And therefore, living for our we stop now and then look to the possibility of sustaining this beautiful alongside of the land. The rising technologies, artificial intelligence, robots, data science, the internet of things that are now defining every aspect of human existence must be included in that issue of universal education. There is a good chance the University of Education Hospital, the future, the living and well just as being software engineers and doctors.
The hospital, I will say in a nutshell, provides services for 33 million people of the northeastern Nigeria. It's the highest referral center in this region. And many patients come for services from Niger, Cameroon, and the Republic of Chad. The level of patronage in the last few years have increased to 150%. We really wanted to make the hospital to be the largest hospital in the West African sub-region.
The United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund said maternal and child nutrition as well as health status can determine the child's ability to grow. The assertion was made by the Chief of Bauchi Field Office of UNICEF, Dr. Tushar Rain, stressing that poor nutrition in the first 1,000 days causes irreversible damage to a child's growing brain and body. About your state correspondent, Awa Hassan, completes the story. Take a listen.
The two-day media dialogue on the phase 1,000 Days of a Child Life, which was organized by UNICEF Bauchi Field Office, draws participants from Gombe, Taraba, Adamawa and the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja, is aimed at educating journalists on the peculiar traits to a healthy phase 1,000 days. According to the Chief of Bauchi Field Office of the UNICEF, maternal and child nutrition as well as health status can determine the child's ability to grow well.
80% of the brain development happens by 2 years of age. When physical growth, velocity, the increase in the physical growth also happens, the velocity is highest during the first year of life.
The phase 1,000 days of life, as put forward by the UNICEF, is a time spanning between conception and baby's second birthday, which is an important period of opportunity when the foundation of optimum health, growth and neurodevelopment across lifespan was established. It, however, emphasizes the importance of proper care, saying that the phase 1,000 days of a child is crucial for physical development and brain growth. Equally important for a healthy future is woman's nutrition during pregnancy and breastfeeding, as well as baby's nutrition care in the first 2 years. The UNICEF, however, emphasizes the need for various stakeholders in the health sector to join hands in helping to achieve the desired objective of the importance of the 1,000 days.
Collaboration and coordination with the stakeholders, the Ministry of Health, the BMCDA, and so there was a joint plan. Now, when we selected those primary health centers, the principle was that we should have at least one primary health center functional per ward. It could ensure that the primary health care is accessible and available and acceptable to all the community, the people there. And I think which is very, very important. So that was the beginning. And building on that foundation, definitely state government and UNICEF are working on the plan of state.
Speaking during the media dialogue, Vice Chancellor, Federal University Kashiri in Gombe State, Professor Umar Alipati, advises journalists in Nigeria to deploy a new approach in disseminating information that are capable of changing the behavior of people towards child health.
It's for the media to prepare our minds for all of this, not just to condemn. Go and do your research and understand. Everything is digital. So you can see how things are changing. So if you refuse to change, you want to remove and leave. Look at post office, how many of post office?
According to him, the media has a great responsibility in helping to improve the quality of child and maternal health in the country, adding that statistics regarding child health are quite worrying and deplorable. Awal Hassan, Viewer TV News, Bauchi.
The Nigerians in Diaspora Organization NIDO America, in partnership with the Plateau State University Bokos, has trained 300 youths in a week-long ICT trainings to unearth job opportunities in the area of cybersecurity, artificial intelligence and digital forensic disruptive technologies, amongst others in Plateau State. Nasir Saidu tells us more. Take a listen.
These are participants at the training organized by NIDO America for 300 youth in Plateau State.
The program was a worldwide initiative by NIDO worldwide. We have 5 continents that define NIDO. We have NIDO Africa, NIDO Asia, NIDO Oceania, NIDO Europe, and NIDO Americas. And NIDO Americas, we've been doing this ICT program in Abuja before, but we decided this time to go somewhere. And me, being selfish a little bit, as a son of Plateau State, I begged my board of trustees, I said, why don't we try Plateau and see how it will work? And we got the cooperation of the Vice Chancellor and the state government, and that is how we came to Plateau, and we are overwhelmed by how it went.
What informed this collaboration is one key area that we have been neglecting in our country. The cross-linkage collaboration, we want to reactivate it so that we can have the opportunity to send some of our students outside the country to other countries in the world to
carry out some research and also get exposed. We are currently having security challenges, especially here in Plateau State and other parts of the country. And one area is cybersecurity. So we felt if Nigerians in diaspora will partner with us so that they can lay the basic foundation for cybersecurity and also other areas of technological advancement, especially food security.
Some participants praised NIDO in partnership with Plateau State University for giving them the opportunity to improve their knowledge on ICT.
I learned about application development, and during the course of the program, we are given a project to carry out. And I particularly carry out a project creating an application, and I named it Plateau Farm Application, whereby you log in the application, is here with me. You log in the application, you input your details, it will log you in. You will take the records of the farms that the school have, where it will give a database of a complete data of what that farms entails.
And I must say that the facilitators did a very good job. And Nido America should be commended because this is what we are there for as NIDCOM, to try to see how we can mobilize them to carry out programs like this. So it's really an encouraging one.
I see a light at the end of the tunnel because lots of students showed enthusiasm to learn, and there is a mechanism put in place already for continuity. We have communities, the Data Science Nigeria, Just Data Science Community, and the likes.
According to NIDO, the ICT training will provide Plateau youths the opportunity to enhance their research skills on ICT. Nasir Seidu, VOA TV News, Jos.
At least on international scene, 17 people were found dead after a boat capsized in Senegal's capital, Dakar, according to local officials on Monday. The number of people in the pirogue is not yet known, but 2 people were rescued alive. The bodies were discovered by the Navy early in the morning and are believed to be migrants because of the type of boats they were in. While this is the first time bodies have washed up in the neighborhood, migrants' deaths at sea are becoming more common in Senegal. It was unclear where the people were coming from, what nationalities they were, or even where they were going. But in the Atlantic migration route is one of the deadliest in the world, with nearly 800 people dying or going missing in the first half of 2023, according to Spanish aid group Walking Borders. Israeli lawmakers approved a key portion of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's divisive plan to reshape the country's justice system despite massive protests that have exposed unprecedented fissures in Israeli society. The vote came after a stormy session in which opposition lawmakers chanted shame and then stormed out of the chamber. It reflected the determination of the Netanyahu's and his far-right allies to move ahead with the plan, which has tested the delicate social ties that bind the country, rattle the cohesion of its powerful military, and repeatedly drawn concerns from its closest ally, the United States. The overhaul calls for sweeping changes aimed at curbing the powers of the judiciary, from limiting the Supreme Court's ability to challenge parliamentary decision to changing the way judges are selected. Netanyahu and his allies says the changes are needed to curb the power of unelected judges. Now, Spain is in political gridlock after Sunday's inconclusive national election left parties on both the right and left without a clear path towards forging a new government. The Conservative Popular Party won the elections, but it fell short of its hopes of scoring a much bigger victory and forcing the removal of Socialist Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. Instead, the party led by the candidate Alberto Núñez Feijóo performed below the expectations of most campaign polls. Even though Mr. Sanchez's Socialists finished second, they and their allied parties celebrated the outcome as a victory since their combined forces gained slightly more seats than the PP and the far right. The bloc that could likely support Sanchez totaled 172 seats, while the right bloc behind Mr. Fejo came in at 170. And that's all on News Plus. Many thanks for watching. I am Deborah Ndukaifi. Please stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs.